to everyone and welcome to round 7 of the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance Division 2. You can see results from last time, and judging by the league positions, not too many surprises. Away teams dominating from there. Going into the table, and we see there at the bottom of the table we have the Danglies and the OTs yet to score any points. I mean, Danglies at least have a goal just to mean that it's not the worst season in the world. But up there at the top, we have Dublin Blues, 6 wins out of 6 and looking absolutely outstanding. So great stuff for them. Into today's games, and you can see there are some classics. Game with the top of the table, Dublin Blues up against the Trumpton Vice squad, and a game I'm looking forward to, Sons of Gondor in 12th place up against Jim Phillips and his Roundhay side. And here he is today. Good evening, Jim. How are you?
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, thank you for having me on board. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Not a problem. And I know you're looking forward to the Blues Trumpton game as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the table's starting to take shape now, isn't it? Really. So I think first, third is a bit of a classic. But yeah, we've got really, haven't we, as well, against Radaby, 6th versus 9th, and then your very own Stackington against 76ers. So I think there's games all over, aren't there? Really.
Oh, it's going to be a quality day, I think. Whether we'll get any of the 2 bottom sides off the mark remains to be seen. But
well, we can dare to dream, can't we?
Anything can happen. I mean, Flamingos have been scoring goals in Division 1, so, there's certainly a chance. Let's have a look into the first match, and it is one of those games you mentioned, Real E versus No Play Side Radaby FC. And Steve, for today, has gone for this lineup. It's his usual formation, just about. What do you think of the side?
Yeah, just having a little look. I mean, it's a strong squad. I think that's the first place to start, and I think Steve himself will be the first to admit that results haven't really gone their way. But I mean, I'm loving the front three. Really, it's a champ classic. Really, to be honest, isn't it?
Oh yeah, you look at those 3 and you see sort of like world stars back there, but that is game stars there, isn't it? That's the 3 I'm most interested in, to be honest.
And I mean, one of my favourites, Vieira, there anchoring things, and I suppose the back 3 there, it's legends, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and Steve's constantly sort of having to defend himself, saying he was one of the first, he was the very first to submit a squad, and if he'd have seen anything different, he might have put a concept squad in. But you know the league's there for anyone to put in whatever they want to do, and fair play to him for first of all being first, but secondly selecting a strong squad. There's nothing wrong with that
Oh,
at
of
all.
course. I mean, I'm as guilty as anybody for picking a side that some might think is just my favourite players, which we will come on to later on. But I mean, he can pick whatever he likes. It's just a case of it clicking now for him, isn't it? I mean, he's put 6 past the team, and it's just about getting the goals rolling again, really, isn't it?
Let's see what we've got. Yeah, last match, the 3-2 defeat, but plenty of shots on target. They were, struggling before that to put any sort of shots in there. But yeah, the 6-1 win against Grove, who actually have been performing really well since. So you're
Which
absolutely
I'm
right.
sure I'll be on the receiving end of very shortly.
We shall see. Let's go into the opposition, and really in their last match, Trumpton Vice squad being beaten. Trumpton have been
Yeah,
really good.
shock result of the round, I think, that one. Yeah, very well played by Really there.
Yeah, I think the way Matt's been this season, his team have performed pretty well. 6th in the table, and
Yeah,
that's
very
said
tight
about
at the
that result.
back. I've seen in my little notes here. They're not conceding many, are they?
No, you go into the table and it's the second best defence.
Yeah,
Great.
no, you can't knock them for that. And I suppose they've been solid at the back. And I mean, I'm a big fan of. I mean, they're beasts up front, aren't they? Hasselbank and Viduka. So a couple of battering rams with a couple of crossing machines on the wings, and they've got a good chance of slinging a few in, haven't they?
Absolutely right about that. I mean, Ryan Giggs has been on fairly decent form. He's not contributed too many to the goals and assists, but Beckham's back in there playing all right. I
Yeah,
think
he's doing okay there, isn't he?
yeah, it is a shame for them. They are missing Van Nistelrooy today. I know they Van Nistelrooy and Vieira both missing. Is a bit of a blow.
Yeah, I think
But
you take those 2 out of any side, you're going to feel the difference, aren't you? But I think Big Eagle is going to step into Patrick Vieira's role there. I think quite nicely.
let's see how they do. Veron taking the captaincy of the team, and the 2 R's with Stefan Wittberg refereeing. Let's kick off this match from the Common. and a very, very quiet first 5 minutes, and straight away the chance for Nikiforenko coming quite close to scoring. I think he's on the attack again. So it's a great start for Rugby. Ferdinand taking the yellow card for Ria Lee, who
plenty of white on the screen.
They're on the back foot, aren't they? Ria Lee. This is what Steve wanted. He wanted an attack from his side, but
well, they're coming back into it a bit now, though.
Yeah, it's the potency of the strike force of, especially with Viduka in the team. They've got to be worried about it. But here we go. Cerebral West taking a yellow card, and David Collins, who last night was sent off for the Badgers. He's getting into the game a bit more, but we're still
there's plenty of 6s and 7s at the moment. No one outstanding, and I don't know to say that Veron's gone into an 8.
Veron, yeah, just peeking into that. Whereas his opposite number, Veron, he's still on a 7. And there's a goal. It is Sammy Hoopier scoring the opening goal.
Big Sammy at the back there.
Probably one of the least likely scorers to open the game, but can he?
I mean, it's been a tight game, so you'd expect a centre half to be scoring the first goal.
We're going into half time, and it's again really just their defence being very, very solid.
Yeah, it seems so. I mean, looking at the stats, it's 5 of 5 for Ria Lee, but again, 7 with 4 on target from Radaby. I suppose it's like the same story, isn't it? It's plenty of chances, but not tucking them away.
It's all about the headers, I think. Ria Lee just probably defensively and attacking, getting the headers in. That's a good passing completion though from Radaby. You don't get many in the 80s, certainly in this league.
Yeah, and I think on this game in general, it's kind of quite a paltry pass completion, isn't it? If you look at it compared to the modern game, anyway, which doesn't exist in this world, of course.
No, very, very tippy tappy in modern games, isn't it? Let's have a look at how it's scored. So, as you'd expect, it's a corner.
Yeah, there we are.
And
Ryan Giggs.
Vieira. You've got to be pleased with beating Vieira to the ball. Southgate chucking in the tackles and completing some of them, but you're right. Bischan has been pretty influential.
Yeah, I know. I think so. I mean, Igor. You'd think they would miss Vieira at the start, but I think he stepped up quite nicely. And he's won his only header, hasn't he? And he's putting the boot in quite nicely. So I think he'll be happy with that.
I think really have basically said anything under 6 at half time to take them off. We'll be monitoring Viduka. I think Viduka's due to come off fairly soon, but we'll get him to the 60-minute mark. He's looking a bit.
I mean, he's a big lad. He might just be tired. You never know.
He's certainly a big presence, isn't he? But for Radaby who don't make subs, they've done okay, but certainly just lacking that firepower, as you can see. Collins hitting them off target, and no one else having more than one shot.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you can tell. I mean, a couple of bookings there. I mean, if Collins is getting a booking, it's obviously not going right from up front. Decent pass completion, but they're not putting it about as much as really, and I think it's more of a reflection of how good they are defensively, I think. Yeah,
nothing against the Radaby side really from this at all. Let's kick off our second half and head to the 60, and straight away it seems very much both teams trying to take the ball off each other as much as possible.
Oh, there we are.
Cerebral West has gone. Now,
where are we?
I mean, they are losing. They need to go for 3 at the back. It's an absolute must. I mean, it's going to be one of those attacking mids, isn't it, to come off?
I mean,
David Collins on the yellow.
Collins on a 5. Are we looking at Milevski?
Absolutely, yeah. Milevski would be ideal in a situation like this, I think. Nikiforenko, would you put him in that line?
Probably put him in the middle. Yeah, I mean, Steve has
gone for the line there, hasn't he? And I mean, we could leave him there with an arrow.
I mean, part of me maybe thinks if you move Veron over right and Nicky slots into the left of him and have the arrows up,
just take that for the team. Yeah.
And I think at least that applies that slight amount of width, doesn't it? But I mean, they're chasing the game, so it's an attacking bold move, in my opinion.
It's probably worth doing for them. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to lose at 1-0 down and 1 man down.
Yeah, and if anything, it's Taribo that's let him down, not me.
Yeah, it was coming. He's not been sent off this season, so it's obviously coming at some point. Giggs has a chance and puts it just wide.
Yeah, it's all yellow at the moment, isn't it?
Very yellow. Cure with a chance as well. The substitutes are on the way, and Southgate has made it. I mean, that's 2 of the back 3.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks for itself. It's the unlikely scorers club, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not wrong there at all. It is Sahar coming on. Is being planned, and the other
Yeah.
substitution is that Veron will swap with David Dunn.
Yeah, David Dunn's a player that I like, but equally dislike in the game because he always scores against me. And if I sign him, he's rubbish. So yeah, David Dunn's one of those that's he's effective in the game generally when I'm on the receiving end of it. So here we go.
Oh, there's a fair few of those players, isn't there?
There are indeed.
Into the last 25 minutes now, and we're looking at currently really just cementing their grip on that top 5 place. Well, are they 6th of them? I can't remember where they are, 5th or 6th.
Yeah, I think they're 6th or 7th, but this is a solid performance, and it just seems they're closing it out at the moment, doesn't it?
And Radaby just seems such an unlucky team. I don't think they're a bad team in any way. Just very unlucky.
Absolutely, and yeah, and there's an element of shooting yourself in the foot with West's red card, but it's just a continuation, really, isn't it? Of the, I mean, we'll look at the stats at the end, but I imagine there's quite a few off targets.
Yeah, plenty to talk about in terms of a lacking sense, but it's a 2-0. Excellent performance from the Real E side. I mean, you can't take anything away from that. Oliver Kahn's played well. Milevski's come on and done a great job in defence. But stat-wise, they have done okay on the shots on target at the end. 27 free kicks, though, coming from 17 offsides and 10 fouls.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see that. I mean, Radaby at least improved their headers won, and was it 24%, wasn't it, at half time? So they've got a little bit better, but there's not much you can do when you've got the red card, especially in such a crucial area. I mean, it's one thing losing one up front, but when it's Taribo, then you're in trouble, aren't you?
Yeah, someone who's got that fire in defence. So the red card was sent off from just West backing in for one, and for the other one, what did he get for his first yellow card? It was just a push, But the backing in, it just seems a little bit harsh for a second.
Yeah, I mean, without delving too deep into it, we'll be pressed for time, but it'll be interesting to see how strict our referee is, and maybe I can mark his card for the future.
Yeah, Stefan Wittberg isn't it? So we'll check him out. Southgate knocked down by Viduka. What's Southgate doing in the centre forward position?
Yeah, marauding midfielder, it sounds like, doesn't it, from Southgate? Excellent.
Very much so.
Where was he in Euro 96 when we needed him?
I think he was playing. I think I heard about him playing in the Euros at some point.
Well, I thought he was off doing a Pizza Hut advert, but there we are.
With Murray Walker. Oh no, well, it was he did the.
Oh no, I suppose we should take the moment now to sort of give the second silence to the legend, shouldn't we?
And there we are. Yes, Murray Walker, absolutely outstanding character.
Yeah, no, legendary guy. Sad news.
Very much so. Sadder news than Harry Kewell winning 1 out of 10 headers.
I'm surprised he got the one, to be fair.
Look at that, Viduka with a man of the match performance. Hasn't scored. The centre backs have done it, but he did get that assist for Southgate's goal. And just
Rio there, good. A bit of a rock at the back. 7 out of 9 won there, 3 key on the header front.
Southgate 5 key tackles. So yeah, plenty to admire about that side.
Yeah,
for Radaby,
just reinforces how good they are in defence, doesn't it? Really.
Yes, indeed. It was good to have Matt on the show the other week as well. So we're certainly working our way around the managers and finding plenty of gems from what they've got to say. Look at this. We've got Vieira winning plenty of tackles. Only a 6. He looked like a better performance than that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of quirks of the game. I think the stats don't always tell the whole story. Maybe it's the yellow card. Maybe that's done him in upon reflection.
Yeah, and the 2 fouls. Offside, Tomadera 10.
Yeah, you'd expect better from him, really. I mean, a man with that pace, but I mean, without bigging up really too much. I mean, they must be playing a good defensive back line to catch out a player of Madeira's imaginary quality.
Yeah, he's scouted himself well there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
We go on to a team called Roundhay Park Avenue, who I believe you might be slightly familiar with.
Yeah, that's my boys. So if we head to our last match, to be quite frank, we were pretty good in the first half, took our chances, and we were clinging on by the end of this. I
Yeah,
mean, Grove will be unhappy not to have slid a third one home. I think 2-0 up at half time and clinging on by full time.
undone by a Berkovic masterclass. To be honest, he was excellent in that game. But your season so far, apart from the defeat to Los Urracas, who I think they're in a cup final. They're obviously performing very very well. But yeah, the results otherwise have been fantastic.
Yeah, so far so good. I think, in fairness, as the table's taking shape, I've had quite an easy start. I mean, Stackington notwithstanding,
Obviously,
of course.
take the easy result there.
I did say I'd go easy on you tonight. So, but there'll be tougher games to come in terms of what I've got to face. But all I can do is try and amble my way through until that point. Really, to be honest.
And you're giving a debut to Alan Smith, who's obviously, not a favourite of many people, but on the game you can't argue what his attributes are like, can you?
Yeah, the attributes are great, and he's more of a second season player. I find that you sign him, you develop him a little bit, and he hits the ground running second season. And when he does play, he's either absolutely cracking or he's diabolical. So we're about to find out, aren't we?
We'll see which version of Smith you've got. But yeah, I am a fan of Didier Agat, and I find he's particularly versatile, and he's found a decent role at right back for you.
Yeah, in terms of choosing a right back, bearing in mind that the whole premise of the team loosely is players that I've seen play live, and I couldn't bring myself to pick Gary Neville, to be quite honest with you. So between Didier and Carlos Puyol, then they're not the greatest players on the game, but I do like Didier for his attacking endeavour, so he fits in quite nicely here today.
Yeah, and now he's got into your team. I probably can't see him leaving it for a while.
Well, red card incoming.
Surely not for a Agat, although he does have that little bit of a mean streak about him at times. So not the most sporting, I think, is one way I've seen it. You're up against Gondor today, and Gondor have. You happy with number 10, by the way?
Why not? It might boost his confidence to have the big shirt on.
Not the 17 that he smashed his leg in. Yeah, Gondor, I think, sometimes they can be a fantastic side. I mean, only losing 1-0 to 76ers without Roger Freestone. I mean, Willie Guerre was amazing.
Yeah, Willie Guerre, fantastic performance in the last game, and it's something I'm certainly wary of going forward. But yeah, that's an outstanding performance, isn't it?
He just kept going. He just kept going. They've had to make a couple of changes. Obviously, Makaleli suspended for today and losing a couple of defenders. But, in terms of the midfield, I think he's probably one of the strongest it can get without Makaleli in there.
Yeah, I mean, I like Lampard in the middle. He's one of those a bit that, I mean, back to Makaleli. Makaleli's a better player in real life than he is on the game, and I think the same with Lampard is that his stats are quite average on the game, but he's a fantastic player. But I think he does play well there in that sort of central with the forward run. I noticed they've matched me with formation. I know they've played that a few times, Gondor.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see whether they do cancel each other out or who can get the advantage. But no, I'm looking forward to it.
Kevin McLeod on the bench for the first time this season. He always surprises me that his attributes are so good, and I've still yet to give him that chance in any save, to be honest. But
yeah, I've seen his name mentioned. He's not a player I'm too familiar with, but those stats speak for themselves. Really, it's that one of those players where everything's just about above average, isn't it? So that really does bode well if you're in need of certainly a left attacking player.
Yeah, I think certainly Romo can get a bit tired or a bit injured during games. So yeah, season wise so far, they've never been outclassed. It's always been a 2-goal defeat at best, but to come out of things with just the 2 points so far, or 1 point, sorry, so far.
It looks a bit like goals. Goals are the issue a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. We'll see if they.
But again, I mean, that's always subject to change, bearing in mind who they're up against.
Well, I didn't score any goals against you, so we'll see how Gondor get on. Kicking off straight away, and look at that, the attack there. Alan Smith with a chance.
Smudger there first up.
Absolute domination early on, and then Lampard with the chance. So end to end now, but a yellow card for Alan Smith.
Yeah, he's been plenty in the game, Alan Smith, so far.
It is his show. It's a penalty. No, and actually called as a penalty saved by Willie Guerre. I mean, that's Ashley Cole having a penalty
Yeah.
saved.
Well, Ashley Cole often crops up, doesn't he, with the penalties? But I mean, Garrett just carrying on that good form.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've seen an Ashley Cole penalty saved. And there we
We have
are.
now.
Oh, I think one in the Super League maybe is another one, but yeah, just it's so rare. 33
A bit of
minutes
a
in,
quiet period here.
we're just looking at the stadium name. I think it's lovely, isn't it? And there we are, Robert Pires opening the scoring, and then Gondor with Damien Lacey from
Oh, Damien
30
Lacey.
yards.
Just about to
Well,
wax lyrical about how much I love Robert Pires and his nice little beard, and then stolen away there.
and his slight look of Roger Lloyd pack trigger from Only Fools and Horses. There we are. Yeah, I mean, 7 shots on target there compared to the 2, but you're level at half time.
Yeah, plenty of chances for us around Hay, but maybe slightly wasteful, maybe not good chances. And I presume the penalty was at least on target, probably saved by Garrett. So that's a wasted one for sure.
Very, very close in the action areas, but possession. You could see a lot more yellow on the screen, couldn't you? And it certainly shows in what's happened.
Yeah, it's just have a little look, see how the penalty came about really, and see how wildly.
So Coleman's gone through Van Nistelrooy, and he's had it saved. Yeah, he has had it saved. Guerre, who's again just performing fantastically this season.
Yeah, seems like the outstanding keeper of the league so far, really. Certainly on form.
You can see here the Coleman clattered Van Nistelrooy line coming back up again. So he's certainly he's after him, isn't he? But then
He's
look at
putting
this.
himself about.
Vieira to Van Nistelrooy, finding Pires, and he's taking it round Romo as well. So lovely goal. But then straight away from kickoff, you've won the ball back and then lost it, and it's been some good work from again Romo.
Yeah, I mean the boys clearly didn't get the message to keep it tight for the next 5 minutes, did they?
No, nothing whatsoever about that. In terms of your players, I mean, look at that first half. Rio Ferdinand on a 9.
Yeah, outstanding. Won all his headers as well. 2 key. He's even had a shot as well, just to add insult to injury. Bit concerned about Alan Smith though. I mean, I've put him in on good faith. He's got a booking. Been a bit profligate in front of goal. 2 shots, none on target. And yeah, I'm worried about that yellow card, but we'll deal with that in a short while.
Taking it to 60 then.
I think so. Yeah, I think I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
For Gondor, who always asks for management of substitutions at the moment, we're keeping it as it is till 60, but Lee Trundle's probably the concern at the moment. But
Yeah, I'd
again,
say so. Whether he's just tired or not, but yeah, there could be a potential injury there, couldn't there? And I'd also worry from Gondor's perspective if Coleman is putting himself about, he's on a yellow, isn't he?
yeah, but then is Gary Monk the player that can come on and inspire the team? I don't know whether, to be honest, I actually don't know whether having nobody there is better than Gary Monk.
Well, I mean, let's not besmirch Gary Monk on air. I'm sure he's got his uses.
I know he's watching the show, so it's just your championship manager player, Gary. I must assume.
Yeah, sorry, Gary, if you're listening.
Into the second half, and Van Nistelrooy's had a chance straight away. So out of the blocks to begin with, straight away, both halves for Roundhay. And then Gondor have
with a
come
couple of
very
chances.
close. Trundle getting involved, and we're coming towards the substitute time. We've got a yellow card for Dennis Lawrence, so that's both centre backs for Gondor have taken a card, and Ashley Cole's hit the frame of the goal.
Yeah, it's not Ashley Cole's game at the moment.
No, he's on that 6, isn't he? For your team there, Rui Costa's looking.
Yeah, generally speaking, we look at potential injuries, don't we, and poor performance. I think Rui Costa there, yeah, he's the potential. So I'd like, if you don't mind, to give me a bit of Ronaldinho, actually, and then just swap him with Pires. So we've got a bit of Ronaldinho down the middle.
Are you keeping Smith on?
I am going to keep Smith on. I'm going to be a man of my word. I said I was going to give him the game. I've given him the number 10 shirt, so he can only let me down.
Any other changes?
I'm not going to change formation. I think we've been wasteful so far, but yeah, just pin the hopes on Ronaldinho making a difference, I think.
Let's see if you can have the Samba Stars. And for Gondor, I think we were looking at one of the forwards before.
Trundle's pretty low, isn't he? Probably a potential.
Mamadi Sidibe is a player, isn't he, that can easily come on and do a job.
Yeah, it's pretty like for like, and he's a bit more slight, isn't he, than old Trundlers? But I think he'll still do a job up there.
Just looking into it, Lampard's performance has been fantastic, but as a score is, I wouldn't want to mess the team around. To be honest, I'm going to just
Yeah,
make
and
that
I
one
can't
change.
see any other like for likes on the bench really.
I'd have loved to have seen McLeod come on and maybe Romo going central, but that's a personal preference. I don't think it will. If it backfires,
Well,
I'd feel
you're the
pretty bad.
boss. It's up to you.
I would feel pretty bad if it backfired, seeing as he's not played this season. So we'll go into the last 27 minutes plus injury time. At 1-1, it's nicely poised. Oh, and there we have Rio Ferdinand.
Oh, Rio! It's a
Capping
centre
off a
half show, isn't it? So
performance.
far.
We've had plenty of goals from centre halves, yeah, and a 10 for briefly during this game as well. There was a chance
I thought it was a
there.
penalty shout. There was it.
It did say play on afterwards. Yeah, it was a close one.
No, it's tight. It's still end to end, but we've got a bit of a lull now.
Yeah, Willie Guerre, great performance there. Romo as well for Gondor. They just can't get back into it. And Roundhay look like they're going to hold on just about. Late chances.
Yeah, tight. I had visions of last week coming back again there with the 2-2, but yeah, very, very happy to cling on there.
I mean, before we look at the fact that some players have come up with 9s, I mean, Rio Ferdinand dropped to an 8 from a 10.
Yeah, potentially backs to the wall stuff, but the stats don't back that up, do they? 4 for Gondor, 2 on target. That doesn't really lend itself to an onslaught, does it, late on?
No, I'm struggling to understand the
I
whole
mean, the
Ferdinand
screen
thing.
certainly made me think that, but the stats don't back it up.
Action areas, yeah, you'd just done it. I mean, taking the possession, they did close in a little bit of possession, but nothing crazy. And the winning goal was scrolling all over the place there. We get to just past the substitutes, of course. Eric Helme corner and
Lovely.
Alan
Can we scroll?
Tate.
Can we scroll down a little bit and see what the penalty was about?
Yeah, the shout there where it was turned out. Yes, so Rio Ferdinand going into Cedric van der Hoorn and turning down the penalty decision. It's I mean,
I
were
think
you lucky?
you've seen them given, haven't you?
We've seen plenty of them given this season, and yeah, luckily for Roundhay, a solid victory. Patrick Vieira performing as you'd expect him to do. Ferdinand 7 headers out of 7, 3-1, 3 key. He's won 3 key tackles. I just can't see how he dropped down. Maybe he's just missing the last few tackles potentially.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure how. And that's an imperious centre half performance in my opinion, and says someone who was a centre half at one point. But yeah, Rio. I think when Rio's on his game, he's on his game, and I think today's one of them.
And he caps it with a goal. And yeah, again, Romo at man of the match this time. He's 3 key passes, 2 key headers, 2 key tackles, and yeah, just a decent performance there for Gondor.
Yeah, good all round performance there, and yeah, I think Gondor will be disappointed they didn't manage to find the second. It looked pretty even. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to be disappointed from their perspective, really.
No, I think as a squad that is significantly weaker than quite a few teams in the division, well, the vast majority of teams in the division, they'll be, again, not disgraced. Can't go away feeling too bad. Jack
Absolutely, and Willie Guerre as well, another 8. So yeah, classic performance from him.
We're going to. I think he's definitely goalkeeper for next game. I think Freestone has another 1 match ban coming up. Yeah, into this one, Atletico New Mills, who second in the league and performing very, very well. A very settled team at the moment from Big New Peas. Doing a really good job as manager. I like this setup.
Oh yeah, agreed. It's one of those that the formation looks very effective, and it's full of stars in their position, in my opinion. I mean, Gattuso's just a bit of a bastard, isn't he? And he's always effective at DMC, and Silvestra's another one that is better on the game than I suspect in real life.
Oh, I was actually a big fan of Silvestre in real life. I think.
Well, you're not an Arsenal fan, are you? You won't have seen the worst part of him.
There was those times, wasn't there? Yeah,
there
he's
were.
come into the team for the first time when is it? Not the first time this season, but yeah, back into the team. And Ronaldinho recalled as well. But Michael Hughes has been one of those stars, hasn't he? Really.
Yeah, he has. He's another unsung hero, really. Well, average rating of 8, 3 goals, 2 assists. You can't knock those figures, really, can you?
That's it's exactly why he's there. I mean, some Northern Ireland players picked, but he is the one that is pretty much guaranteed to start. Obviously, Mike Duff, the pretend Northern Irishman in this, being English in the game and Swedish in the league, but Northern Ireland international, you can't complain about what he can do. The
Yeah,
substitutes bench, 3 Northern Irish players on today.
yeah, and then Maxim there, just in case of emergencies. I mean, there's a few teams that have got him, haven't they? So he's always good off the bench or as a starter.
Yeah, Northern Irish was his second nationality as well. So, in the last game, 6-2 win over the OTs, who they were 2-0 up, weren't they, or something? Yeah, 2-0 up, and
Yeah,
ended up
two
just
two two at half
capitulating.
time.
It's
Yeah, it's a bit of a late salvo from New Mills, wasn't there, in that game?
but you go through the season, and if you're unbeaten after 6 games, it's a good start, no matter who you're playing against.
Oh,
You're racking up
indeed.
the
Yeah,
points.
there's good numbers there in there. 5, 4, couple of threes. So there's and tight at the back. I mean, Los Urracas 3-3, but other than that, it seems like it's a team that's good at the back and certainly sticking them home at the other end. So they're in good form for sure.
My attention is just drawn to this 5 games in a row, which is really going to be a big test of their season coming up after this one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the season started, didn't it? Where there's a lot of top versus bottom, but I think as the table now has developed and the fixtures have to be true to that, there'll be blocks where teams have got tough games and teams have got easier games. So we'll just have to see, but they'll certainly earn their money in the next 5 games. I agree with you.
Let's head into their opposition, who Grove Imperials have impressed me. They've only picked up, is it 3 points this season, but their performances have been amazing.
Yeah, and as I said earlier on, they'll be unhappy not to have won that game in the second half against my side.
Three draws in a row against the Jers, 76ers and Roundhay. I mean, they're all teams that are competing in that top 5 or 6 in the division.
Yeah, absolutely. And after a poor start, they seem to have got their act together. And those 3 draws, that they're just waiting now to turn one into a victory.
I am just looking at it and thinking, apart from the Blues, they've played every single big side so far. And I mean, in Athletic now, and then you go into it, and he's, I mean, no disrespect to Dan Hazard at all, but the top teams that he's playing against are a bit stronger than that. And then
Yeah, I
the
mean,
run of
certainly
3
in
of the
terms
bottom
of league
5.
position, though, those games that you're hovering over there are the ones where they expect to pick up the victories, won't they?
Yeah, I think they're certainly a side that are capable of causing a few shocks. Smerteen's missing today though, and you can see from the lineup that the lack of Smerteen putting Tim Sherwood in is a bit of a difference, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the presence of Tim Sherwood in any side is going to be a downer for most teams, especially with the quality of Smerteen. So we'll have to see how they anchor it. I do like the addition of Paul Merson in the side. I know he's played a few games this season, but I'm a fan of his for sure. And
not performing, but he's picking up some assists. But
he's there for morale, isn't he?
Yes, anyone with Paul Merson in the team's got to be enjoying themselves really.
And it's an interesting forward line as well. Sort of the age of Sheringham and then Berkovic there and Darius Silva. I've got a lot of time for up front there.
Yeah. I mean, it is a shame he lost his leg, isn't it? That's one of those little quirks of football, I guess. I am just checking to see whether Grove did send me squad numbers, so I am just having a look for what number we need for Sean Davis. He's going to take the number 16 shirt. It's gone though. It has already gone for some reason. So I can't give him the number 16 shirt.
Ooh.
Yeah, it must have been assigned automatically by accident to somebody else. I will just have a quick look at where we can give a number to. The 13 is vacant. You can have the 13.
Oh, that's the one I was looking to avoid.
Oh, no, Hislop's got 13. Hislop's got 13. I'm just having a look to see how that managed to happen. No one has 24. So apologies, Stu. Whatever happened there, he hasn't got his own number. Peter Ekstrom refereeing, and everyone beginning. I mean, blue on blue. It's probably not the greatest kit set for today, but It's easier for us to read, but you can't
See how
imagine
we
it
get
in
on.
real life. Saeed taking a very early yellow card.
Yeah, it's slightly more dark blue to start with.
Ronaldinho with the first real chance of the game. We've got Michael Hughes putting one just over. And yeah, the pressure is certainly on from Atleti, but Sheringham has come close to scoring. And then Van Nistelrooy involved. He's going end to end. He's certainly going end to end.
Yeah, there's ebbs and flows here, but we're just a bit low here.
Yellow card for
another booking there,
Gattuso.
Gattuso.
It's nicely poised without giving us
Yeah, it's a
real
game that
action.
hasn't quite exploded yet.
I think it's Grove's tight defence. I think they certainly cleared things up since that.
Yeah, well,
that big
Unsworth on a
defeat.
5 though. He needs to look out for that.
Michael Hughes with the opening goal. What a season he's having.
There we are. We were waxing lyrical, weren't we, before the game, and he's delivered.
We go into half time 1-0. Michael Hughes separating the two sides, and Grove, no shots on target.
Yeah, I think the 1-0 is just about deserved. I think on the balance of play, five shots, 2 on target. Grove with a lot of endeavour, but again, just not quite making the goalkeeper work, I don't think. And I'd be concerned a bit about Unsworth on his 5.
Yeah, it's not been the greatest first half performance from him, has it? Half time wise, it's just injuries to look out for them. The goal from Hughes was so we got Elmander playing it to Delivio, who's just taking it forward, and it seems quite straightforward. He's just advanced with the ball, played it in, and Hughes looks like a tap-in, but he's in the right place at the right time very, very often.
You've got to be there to put him in.
Here we go. Look at the team performances. I mean, Duff on a 6, but the rest of the team are already they're already firing, aren't they? Sylvester with 3 key tackles.
Absolutely. I take back what I said about Sylvester, the fictional Sylvester as an animal. And he's winning most of his challenges. One header, 1 tackles. He's doing well. A few passes in there. I think he deserves his 8, to be honest.
And he's managed a shot. And for Grove, the Unsworth. I mean, he's just passed it a bit and then done nothing else and barely broken sweat.
Not a single tackle and nothing else. But I mean, it's a bit like the old Italian sweepers, isn't it? Look, flash, pass it out to the wing backs, and away you go.
Can you imagine David Unsworth doing that? I mean,
no, I can really not imagine that. But this is the evidence in front of our eyes.
Let's see if any of the the Athletic stuff is all about 60 minutes, and for Grove it was just about potential injuries at half time. So we'll head into.
Everyone looks fit and healthy so far, don't they?
Yeah, both sides looking ready to go for the second half. We go straight away. Sylvester playing it through to Veron. He scored. It's offside. It's a powerful.
It's all dark blue at the moment.
It very much is, isn't it? And Stu's got to be hoping that the team can hold out a little bit, but it's just a case, surely, of when.
Big just about hanging on at present.
Goal 2. Substitution time. So just reading the stuff here. So Sigalko for Van Nistelrooy is going to be happening. So why not? Unless losing. Nope, that's all right. We're going to have McCartney for Delivio.
Well, Delivio will be disappointed. He'll be shaking his head there after that assist.
I know, yeah, he's on an 8 as well. I'm just checking things, and then leave the third sub for any injuries or whatnot. So
sensible measure there.
There we go. For Grove, we have got it's the case, isn't it? It's the Cole and Dario Silva swap if there's been no goal, which is happening, and otherwise from that, anyone under a 6. So yeah. I think that's
Steve Finnan's joined the naughty step, hasn't he, with Unsworth?
Yeah, but then who goes? I mean, Patrick Berger's the only left side. Oh, Unsworth is coming off for Eddie Howe, and I mean Patrick Berger's a left-sided player, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got instructions from Grove to use all 3.
There's nothing to say don't. So anyone under 6 is being removed. So yeah, Patrick Berger will come on at left back, and I think he's done it before this season actually.
Yeah, and I can't argue with Patrick Berger at left back. I think he can do a job there.
Let's see if it can be anything for Grove to get back into the game. They have looked dominated. Cole's come forward with a chance straight away. I'll move it back onto the view that we're meant to be looking at, which is always useful, isn't it? Berkovic with a chance again. Ail Berkovic comes to life in second half.
It's a lot more even since the substitutions.
It seems like it's working for them somewhat. Elmander has tried to expand the lead, but yeah, Berkovic and there's Andy Cole.
Equaliser.
First goal of the season for Andy Cole, but then Mike Duff pulls themselves back into the front of the game.
You can always rely on Mike.
And 3-1 through substitute Sigalko. I mean, it's really sprung to life in these last few minutes. George McCartney's been involved, and Cole scores again. It's really tight end, and Michael Hughes with his second of the game.
Half to savour.
And a red card for
it's all
Mikhail
going.
Silvestre.
There we are, yeah. All right. So we've flipped and we've flopped and we've flipped again. Yeah, he's still useless, Silvestre.
I barely had time to breathe during that time. I mean, looking into it, you'd put Gattuso into your back four.
I think you'd get Gattuso in the hole and then potentially Veron where Gattuso's come out of.
Yeah, I don't think you'd bring a sub on there. I think Veron does a good job in defensive mid. You're absolutely right. I think that's the best job to do there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'd do. And then we've 3 minutes left, and they were in the ascendancy, weren't they? With was it 4-2? They're up.
Yeah, they should hold on. But wow, breathless performance there for the last bit. It calms down, and we reach pretty much full time. Michael Hughes chased a hat trick and played it into Ronaldinho for 5-2. I mean, we were treated there. Absolutely treated.
Indeed. That was a second half performance from both sides. In fairness, really to entertain us.
Yeah, 4 shots on target for Grove in the end out of their 5 second half attempts, and it showed that it was a great game at 80% pass accuracy for Atletico New Mills.
Yeah, that's high numbers for the game. That's really good. I think actually we kind of abandoned the first half of tight defence and just went hell for leather, didn't we?
I mean, yes is the obvious word there. I mean, wow. We look into the goals. We've got 6 of them in the last half hour.
In the last 20 minutes, it looks like, doesn't it?
So we go there for Cole pulling it back to 1-1 at 72 minutes, and there were 7 goals in this game. So a rebound from a chance from Berkovic, who, like we said, he is lively. Sigalko plays a crossing to Duff, who gets ahead of Patrick Berger. Then we've got Ronaldinho playing it down to Sigalko again for a goal, and then Cole. It looks like he's done a lot of the work. Is that a David James assist?
Goal kick, David James. Cole collects, roasts Silvestre, and away he goes. Yeah.
I wonder if he has been credited with the assist there. That'd probably be a first for the season of a goalkeeper. Gattuso assisting Hughes. The red card for a dangerous challenge.
Oh, you don't want to see that, do you really?
Hughes, 2 goals and an assist from him this game.
Yeah, it's certainly as a Northern Irishman there in the squad, front and centre, really, I think fully deserves his 10 and his man of the match.
And again, performances all the way through the team there. Delivio coming off hasn't affected them whatsoever. George McCartney's come on and he's tried hard and performed reasonably well, but the team have just dominated in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. No one on a 6 either. So 7 is the lowest number. And I think that's a good all-round team performance.
And I assume that puts them temporarily top of the league. That's an assumption. I'm not going to look at the league table.
Yeah, but I'm going to say I don't know.
I think they might be a point clear, but I may be wrong. For Grove, no assist for David James, but it very clearly was.
Yeah, that's a shame. And whether David James really cares about the couple of £100 assist bonus or not, I don't know. But still,
he would. Sure.
We know the truth.
He'd be able to buy some more PlayStation games.
Absolutely. But I think overall, looking at the performance, Sheringham's worked hard.
Yeah, plenty of passes, and he's been winning his headers. Just not have the shooting boots on until Cole came on and scored his first 2 goals of the season.
Yeah, I think the substitution there changed the game from Grove's perspective. Scored both the goals, and I think on another day, if he'd played the whole game, that could have been a man of the match performance.
You're not wrong. Not wrong for that, and it'll give Stu Fanson something to think about of whether it's the Cole Silva swap again, because Silva is a super sub, and Cole's now proved he is as well. Maybe they'll both be subs. Los Urracas versus FC Danglies, and from speaking to Mr. Wooder of Danglies this time, he feels this is a game he can get something out of. Whereas for Dan Hazard, I mean, surely he'd be thinking he can keep the Danglies to no points. Changes for this game, we've just got the one change to the lineup, and it's the obviously the injury to Riquelme in the last match against Stackington has put Agahauer back into the team, so it's not been weakened really, has it?
No, not particularly. Riquelme, I think, as we know, is a fantastic player, and there's a few of them on the game, aren't there? But Agahauer, yeah, ample replacement, and in that kind of role, just behind Ronaldinho, I think he'll serve a good purpose there.
Yeah, Agahauer, Ronaldinho, you're not gonna have any problems with that sort of side, are you?
No, that's quite a technical midfield there, isn't it?
Yeah, and Lee Boyer. So
yeah, and Lee, yeah, just if I was Agahauer, I'd make sure I passed to Bowyer. I don't want to get involved in any fracas.
we don't. Yeah, they're a bit too close to each other, to be honest, aren't they? Those two.
Yeah, you are dicing with death there, really, aren't you?
Getting their own
Los
players.
I've been impressed with them this season. They certainly out tacticked myself when we played earlier in the season, and yourself.
Restrict 2 players to 5s. Yeah, I mean that's everyone doing their bit, isn't it? They are good. They've reached a cup final, and they must be certainly. Oh yeah, the next 2 rounds of games. So yeah, the midweek games is a cup final, isn't it? I'd almost forgotten that, to be honest. It'd be interesting to see what we can do over midweek with the 2
that'd be interesting
cup
as well.
games.
It's interesting having the final 2-legged where the other rounds aren't.
Yes, certainly is at neutral grounds.
Well, I mean, whether the Swedish FA are trying to coin it, who knows? I'm not here to judge.
No, and if it provides us entertainment, then we'll take every single second of it.
Absolutely.
Danglies, no points.
Danglies.
Last game, it looked like it was so promising with the change of formation and then getting destroyed 4-0. But they've gone for
overall,
another...
I mean, the ratings in that last game are actually quite good. I think they are on the up. I think 6s and 7s.
Yeah, I mean, one goal.
There's potential there, certainly, and I'm pleased to see that a lack of Dean Saunders in this game.
Yeah, 4.67 or whatever his average rating is really not quite Swemp standard, to be honest. I mean, another change of formation.
A man with more points on his licence than he has shots on target so far this season.
Back seven going on there. I mean, it is very, very heavily loaded to defence. You'd imagine long ball
hopefully
needed.
Pellegrino can adapt from his sweeper role into a more traditional centre half. It is defensive, but those arrows lend themselves if Danglies get on the ball to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, Dudek in goal, a sub keeper. It points to some sort of progress, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's the Champions League winner in nets, and we've already had a big performance from Big Igor, haven't we, in DM? So we could be seeing another one.
Well, there's no point wasting any time. That's what I was going to say there. Into this game, we've got Stefan Ragnarsson refereeing, who we have seen this season before, and I'm looking forward to this one. Can the Danglies get anything, or have we got Urracas pushing their way into that top half even more?
Are we contractually obliged to say up the Danglies at this point?
I think we should, yeah, certainly. There we are, up the Danglies. TT Camera has scored, and you can hear Wooder, but there, Alan Smith equalising straight away, and this game could go anywhere.
The equaliser came so quickly, really, but yeah, good on Alan Smith there.
No real time to celebrate as we go immediately to win Urracas onslaught.
Yeah,
yellow card for TT Camera.
Themselves now, aren't they?
Yeah, chance again for Agahauer, I think it was. Ronaldinho, Baumer. Oh, we've got plenty of stuff going on. Camera is the most lively player, although Salif Giao's coming with a good performance.
Absolutely. And I'll be looking at Costanzo there in goal for Urracas on a 5.
Yes, yeah. Shea Given is ready to come back into the team at some point. Smith, what a goal! He's nutmegged Traore and smashed it in.
He's found his shooting boots for the Urracas today.
I'm pretty sure I saw him nutmegging Jimmy Traore there. A banana shot from Camera. Not just any old goal, but a proper curler. A Collymore curler, you could call it, with the Liverpool side.
I always wonder what they mean by a banana shot. I mean, it's just a curler, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does sound better, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah,
it,
Agahauer there, in for
it
Raquel May, getting the assist.
he's done a decent job there. You know, Balmer involved, but yeah, banana shot. I suppose certainly if it goes in, it's very fruitful.
Yeah, I mean, is a banana shot one where are you in a windy ground? Are you at Vale Park, and that's how a banana shot happens? I don't know.
At Vale Park specifically, we've got this.
Other windy grounds are available.
Look at this. We've got Bowyer playing to Smith, who just had to find a way past, so he knocked it through his legs. And then, I mean, if that said banana shot there, that would have been even better.
That would have been the icing on the banana cake, that wouldn't it? But yeah, no, I think great performance for Leaf Malin Smith. He's completed all his passes, 3 of 3 on target. He's even made a tackle.
Yeah, yeah, he's going for it, isn't he? And Ronaldinho winning plenty of headers. It was a theme yesterday of Ronaldinho sort of double figure header attempts, and it's continuing again today.
Yeah, I think it's one of the quirks of the game, isn't it? I don't think it takes account of actual real life height, does it?
No, the fact he's got 17 jumping and 12 heading, yeah, he'll be jumping up fairly often for these, and
Good
maybe
on him. And
Costanzo likes his goal kicks.
yeah, and it seems that Mike Duff has cruised through this game. No tackles, three headers, 1-1. He's just knocked it about a bit, hasn't he?
Those two key passes that he's played in, and 4 dribbles from Ronaldinho. You know, you can see him really taking a good hold of this game. Dangley's never make any plans for substitutes. They're up for running players into the ground. Yeah, it's an all right first half. You know, to say they took the lead, that's
I mean,
great news for them.
the game started fantastically, really, with TT's banana shot, and it slightly downhill since then. Brune Cheroux, I mean, it's better than Dean Saunders, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure that Woodard was pinning his hopes on Shearer this game, which
Well,
hasn't
Cheroux's
quite
had a
worked out.
shot, so it's definitely better than Dean Saunders.
But of course, banana shot, banana card for Camera.
And other than that, at the back, they seem pretty solid. There's sevens all round. I mean, there's a lot of defenders, but they're doing their work. I think just the Urracas of just weight of numbers there. I think in terms of attacking.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the second half goes. And it's no time like the present than to get it going. And straight away, we've got more attack from the Danglies. That's Pellegrino with a chance there to score.
What's he doing up there?
He's got a nosebleed now. He's going to deal with that for the rest of the game. But Dangley's certainly coming back into this game. And we have got instruction from Urracas to manage injuries conditions. I mean, dire.
Yeah, Kieran Dyer looks like.
Yeah, that will be the one change that's happening here. Kieran Dyer going off. It's got to be a Newcastle player coming on. So you'd imagine from that, I think so, do we? We've got Smith, Bowyer, Dyer, Woodgate, Johnson. Yeah, it must be a
Is the
Newcastle
premise they
player.
have to have 5?
Yeah, Dan Hazard decides it must be 5 at all times. So, I mean, Bowyer would have to come
Bowyer's a
back here,
natural one
wouldn't
to
he?
slot in. And would you give Laurent Robert a game, or would you go?
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, you know, Shearer's he's too attacking, isn't he, for that sort of side? And we're not being instructed to, you know, change a whole load of positions. So Robert would be the one to come on.
That's what I'd do if it was me.
So there we are, keeping up the record there. It's yeah, I can't see it being weakened necessarily. I know if you got an injured Dyer, then a fully fit Robert is probably about the same.
No, I think so. Yeah, and then obviously Dyer's a decent enough player, but he's not exactly a world beater.
No, he's a good player in the game, but you know he needs his
Are we
shifts
okay?
when
Just
to
have a
take
look
them.
at the match stats for Dangley's shots, because Costanzo is on his 5, so
Yeah,
he's let the only shot on target in, hasn't he?
did I actually look at them in the first half at all? I don't even know if I did.
I honestly can't remember.
No. And yeah, but let's take a quick look at those. Yeah, the one shot on target. I don't think we did. I think we went straight into the goals. Had a look, Dangley's, yeah, only 15%. So yeah, I think it was definitely the right decision to make there, Jim. Let's push into the final half hour. And TT Camera shot the only one that's gone in. But I almost said Newcastle and Urracas with another chance. Robert's getting involved. Dudek is playing pretty well so far. Without the commentator's
he's on his
curse.
8. That's yeah. I mean, I wonder whether Tony Warner will get back in the side when his ban finishes.
Next year, at some point. Yeah, we've got plenty plenty of chances that suddenly gone quiet.
But there's always a risk from the danglies.
It's digging. It's a red card for Laurent Robert.
Oh, what have we done?
And there must be 5 Newcastle players on the pitch at all time. So just to have a quick check, is anyone injured? Agahauer's injured, and Selakovic will come on to replay. And Selakovic is not a Newcastle player. Let's undo that. Shearer is the option there, isn't it?
Yeah, we stick Ronnie back a bit.
And I think that would be the best thing to do.
And we're in the 90 now, so we're nearly there, aren't we?
Yeah, the old Selakovic at Newcastle signing there, of course. Alan Smith, man of the match, just absolute carnage at the end. And a 91st minute sub. Shearer never quite picked it up. Woodgate with a horrible performance.
Yeah, Danglish with the one shot on target. They'll be happy with that. They took the lead, so that's the moment in the sun. But then realistically, Urracas just asserted their superiority. Really, in my opinion.
I think
plenty of passes completed as well.
I do feel it's progress for Danglish. I know there's no points, but there's another goal and only a 1-goal defeat.
Absolutely, and from quite an inauspicious start, the only way really was up, wasn't it? But they're certainly on the way.
So we've gone from the banana shot and all those other things. Of course, no second half goals, but it was a professional foul. You can kind of understand why Robert's done that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff tried to go past Robert. Yeah, you can understand that. I don't think we can blame ourselves for bringing him on.
Why he was left in that position in the first place, though, is a bit confusing. But look at all the action that's happened post-card. Not post-card, of course. They have 36. 2 players with 36 passes completed, 39. Plenty of passes for Urracas.
They've done a good job. Woodgate, why would Woodgate be on a 5 for doing nothing? It would appear. I think
fouls maybe. He's had 1 foul, 7 interceptions. Yeah, that's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's a strange one. It's odd how the game engine works there, but he hasn't really done anything. 1 header lost, 1 tackle won, nothing else. Strange. I'm not a big Jonathan Woodgate fan, but I think he's been undersold there a little bit.
No, I'm not either. I don't think it's a 5 performance, but the game's obviously just living up to how we feel about him. Dan Hazard grinding out results. He's doing a good job there.
So that's I think that's the minimum he would have wanted, and that's what they've got. So I think he'll be happy.
Encouraging for Danglish, taking the lead.
I would say so. Taking the lead, and that moment in the sun. If you had a points table after the 23rd minute or whenever that goal went in, then they wouldn't be on the bottom. 4th minute. If you had a 5th minute table, they'd be laughing.
Yeah, they'd be certainly up in the points, and absolutely no complaints to the Robert sending off. I think it was the absolute thing he needed to do to prevent the almost certain Bruno Shearer winner.
Yeah, the red cards are creeping into this division, aren't they now, actually? And I thought they were the reserve of the first division, but the second division are catching up.
It'll be interesting to see at the end which division gets more. But Stackington in this game. Stackington, the absolute, I would say, mixed bag of results. No, 1 win and a whole load of defeats, including last time being torn apart by Urracas in terms of performances. Only a couple of players really taking part in the match.
Wilfred Boomer is a favourite of mine. Not quite reaching the heights in the last game.
It wasn't the best performance, was it? He has kept his place, but we have had some small changes to personnel. Saeed's back from suspension, replaces Kamuna, and Van Nistelrooy loses his place to Nikiforenko and doesn't even make the bench.
Oh, is that an internal issue that we need to know about?
It's purely the fact that Yavin is a poacher, isn't he? He will get goals, and Van Nistelrooy is one of those where
we'll be spying the sport pages of the Swedish Sun with great fervour for the internal feud between yourself and Ruud van Nistelrooy.
He'll be back before long. He'll be back. He's not the problem in the squad. It's the other 2 goalkeepers, to be honest. But Barthez has at least been happy in the news. But
it's good to see Quim or Keem. We'll call him Keem, I think, just for taste purposes.
In goal because you can make the jokes. It's all right,
Oh, indeed, I'll leave the jokes to you. But I like the lineup. decent going forward. I mean, Ulf Kirsten's a battering ram, isn't he? But with the wide players again, if they can get the crosses in, 2 in 2, 1 assist. I think that's a good return, really, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 in his 4 games in total, but cup games are
Cup games are still games.
Cup games are games, but if you're playing against the non-league sides and scoring goals, then it doesn't quite have the same gravitas, does it? But he's a good player. And they're up against 76ers, who have reached that cup final. Their last game was that grinding out the win against Gondor that were inspired by Willie Guerre. Season so far, I mean, 8th in the table. They are better than that, but they're not scoring goals.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're a side that I'd sort of say similar to Radaby, similar to Grove in many ways. The potential's there. It's just that the results haven't come. I think we'll potentially, after we've seen 10 games played in this season, we might sort of see a bit of a redress of that. But you can't really argue with that squad, can you? And certainly that lineup.
Yeah, the Takanadi role's working.
The Takanadi role, yeah, he's great as that 7.4. 76% passes. Van Bommel's a bastard. He'll do his job there, and then he's got the mercurial Nedved and Raquelme either side of him. So I think that's a good balanced side.
Yes, yeah, it's something to worry about if you're taking them on in this game. The only
positive about Cafu's fitness in the second half though with that run.
Oh yeah, I mean, Cafu, is he not limitless stamina? Does he not have like 37 or something? Just a 17, but yeah, he
I don't know, maybe I'm imposing real life onto what I'm thinking, but yeah, we shall see.
What you mean? You decide to make him a good 50 years old? In the hope, let's get kicked off in their game before their cup final. Do they have one eye on the cup final?
Well, there'll be players playing for positions, I'm sure.
We kick off Stackington in their away kit for what might be the first time this season. It has been a slow start, but the two Wilfred Baumers are trying to get into the action. A chance Cafu coming forward.
Yeah, plenty of red.
It's all red. Del Piero could not quite put the ball past Keem. We are 20 minutes in, and I suppose that's good news for Stackington. They've not conceded so far.
But they're coming back into it a little bit.
76 is just pushing forward. Sigalko with a chance. And then down the other end, offside is called.
Oh. Milevsky on his 5.
A gap playing the ball in. Yeah, he's not performing quite so well, is he?
Yeah, and I think Romoshenko just dipped and then he rose again. Quite a cagey game overall so far.
Yeah, nothing really coming. I mean, there we go. Sigalko.
He only needs one chance, doesn't he?
He does, and the opening goal scored by Sigalko. Ulf Kirsten with a chance, but Buffon was out there straight away. Well, yeah, first half, performance-wise, you've only got 2 players who have really pushed themselves in the match.
Boomer's exciting, and Kim's done well in goal. I mean, 5 out of 5. So to concede 1, I think that's a good performance from Kim in goal for Stackington. 5
shots, 5 on target, 1 shot, 1 on target. I mean, at least the goalkeepers are being tested, but certainly it was 76, and I'm surprised it's only 57%.
Possession-wise, yeah, in terms of location.
You've just got to look at what Riquelme has done there. So he's played
He's had the ball for a whole minute.
Turned, brought the ball forward, turned, played, used the channel, turned, used the channel, turned, come forward, around, dribbled, looked, skipped, continued, and put a cross in. I mean, that is lovely, isn't it?
So he's beaten Takinadi, he's beaten Romoshenko and Agath in that move,
and the air. He's beaten the air a few times. It's got to be said. Yeah, that's some wonderful play from him, and there's no wonder we saw a lot of red. But then this is Baumer with the ball in and Sigalko with the finish,
and again, well worthy of his 8 there, Baumer. That's, an assist there, and that's what you get from Sigalko, isn't it, really?
Yeah, he's just putting himself about enough in this game, and Baumer deserving of the 8 that he's got the assist there, definitely.
Yeah, Van Bommel, 5 tackles. He's only won 1 of them, so he's been hacking at the legs as per.
Just checking 76ers sub rules. It's 60 minutes for them, and for Stackington, well, they'll be leaving things there until 60 minutes. But Milevski needs an improvement. I mean, this is probably, if the performance stays as it is, it's probably going to be the time where next match these two will switch places. As I've been looking to do, but Romoshenko's been performing very, very well.
Indeed, but you're certainly not out of it at 1 goal.
No, and we come back into the game straight away. Baumer with a chance. It's almost there, but Del Piero coming forward for 76ers with the next attempt. And this is a sort of end-to-end for a bit and then nothing kind of second half. So if Sigalko hasn't scored, well, he has. That's fine. And Rui Costa for the lowest performing central midfield player. We've got 2 7s and a 6. So Van Bommel comes off for Rui Costa. So you lose the player.
You lose the bite, but you gain a bit of attacking threat there. So that's actually quite a bold attacking move, really, all things considered.
Technique from Rui Costa. He's been fantastic for pretty much every team he's played for this season. Did we watch the first half from my view there? Apologies if that's the case. Yeah.
No, nothing happened anyway, really, did it? So we haven't missed anything.
Well, we've seen Milevski improve there a little bit. Yeah. I suppose it's just habit, isn't it? Watching my own team playing like that.
How's Kirsten, fitness?
He's going to come off anyway for Yavin. He hasn't scored this game. Performance-wise, for the rest of it, in terms of how it's going, there's not a lot that can be done, to be honest, in terms of how things go. I mean, the Romoshenko for Song is going to be the second sub. And see how it goes. Not going to change the positions.
That freshens it up nicely for you, and just see what happens. Regards, you got Yavin up front, and anything can happen. Really, it's only 1 goal. Yeah,
and as person sat here at the time, if I was playing it at home, I'd probably have switched over Milevski and Song, but I'm not going to go into all being too technical with my own team, I don't think, at this point. So chances there. Yavin's had a chance, and Nikiforenko has equalised.
Oh, equaliser.
Substitutes have worked so far. Baumer taking down by Takanadi, who gets a yellow card. And he's
not more even.
Piling on the pressure, and it's a second goal. It's Mikhail Silvestre.
All is forgiven, Mikhail.
The 76ers, they've been shell-shocked.
Turnaround.
Nikiforenko puts one over the bar. Song having a good performance at the moment.
76ers coming forward again. No, but it's yellow again.
Yavin again with a chance. And a late chance for 76ers could change this game, but it's 2-1 to Stackington at full time. Nikiforenko, man of the match. 2 substitutes on an 8. Keane with another good performance.
That's inspired substitutions there.
Well, and, what can you say? What can you say?
You've got to be happy with that.
Well, to be, I'm delighted. I am disappointed for 76ers. To be honest, I think that they had that first half absolutely sewn up, and they put 8 shots, 8 on target. It's no wonder Keane's played an 8.
Yeah, he's earned his money, and I think 76ers have got to be a little bit disappointed by that turnaround. It was 5 from 5 first half. So they've had 3 shots, 3 on target second, but obviously the scoreline's the thing that counts. For Stackington, is this your first non-Danglies win?
It is the first non-Danglies win, yes. And
I don't want that to become a thing. That's a bit rude, but
but beating a team in the cup final that actually looked like one of the strongest sides early on. I mean, still for me, the highlight of the game is the Riquelme move. I could watch that all day.
Should have been booked for time wasting.
I am going to go back through the highlights later on when this is on YouTube. I'm going to go through the game and just watch that on loop. So the goals straight after the substitutes that just happened 2 minutes before. A gap playing it into Yavin. Buffon's parried it, and Nikiforenko's got the follow-up. So 1 substitute works at that point.
Absolutely.
Then for the second one,
you've got Ndai hitting the bar here just before the goal.
Yeah, what's he doing with that as well? Yeah, and Nikiforenko plays in Silvestre and a half volley from a centre back. What's he doing there?
The game's gone mad.
The game has gone mad, and got to be delighted. I mean, for the league there, we see
but for the 76ers, there's no overall poor performances. Van Bommel was playing average, and he was off before the carnage happened.
Yeah, and you look at it, and the team have actually improved despite the fact that that Stackinson have beaten them, the team have improved.
Yeah. So I mean, aside from the result, I think the 76ers can't be too disappointed. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the way to describe that. We have what have we got? 2 games left, or just the one? I can't even think if this might be the last game. Might well be the last game. I can't even think if it is. So the Oatcakes, well, I can't describe them as a pointless team. A team without points, and going back to the formation that does not involve Graham Marchant playing at right back and running all the way to the strikers, which I love. I'm a big fan of ridiculous runs, as anyone watching the Super League tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And Mr. Pike is certainly it just doesn't look right, does it? But it certainly adheres to the rules, and with the intrinsics, it's a work in progress, certainly.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
I really like it, and it will click one day, but it just depends on when that day is, I think.
Anyone who's not seen what Larry's doing with his intrinsic challenges at the moment, you've just got to look into his onto his Twitter feed. It is fantastic for what he's doing, producing a team that's getting a lot of players in the 9s for an average rating over a season is fantastic.
And he's just dropped a new thread now, hasn't he? So that's well worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, that is brilliant. So yeah, Steve Phillips, great keeper at the moment.
Yeah, he's had a good season, hasn't he? I mean, 16 conceded, but an average rating of 7.
And then Tepi Moilanen, who he's come on and got that. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's in Team of the Week when he's got that 9 as well. So 2
disappointing
keepers.
Not to get a start, I think.
Yeah, it's the only substitute instruction is if Phillips is on 6 or below, bring on Moilanen. And that's what it happens there. We've got, of course, Willie Jamieson back in at centre back this game. Nick Baker playing it right back, and it allows Marchant to go up front with San Nazario.
Yeah, I mean, Marchant's on just in case he's needed to do that lung busting run late on.
Which, of course, no doubt he loves doing, I'm sure. But up against the Jers, I mean, what a team they've been this season. 5th in the league, and their last game, a win over Rugby, which...
they'll be happy with that, especially with the early red card as well.
Totti on a 9-match ban coming up from as a result of that game for punching Oliver Kahn. I mean,
it's easily done.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of worth it, isn't it? Really, but he has been banished to the reserves in favour of the 3rd goalkeeper. So we'll be seeing Stefan Kloss linked with the first team squad for the foreseeable future. It's I think it is a strong team.
Either way, that's a strong side, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like the Daggetti Rangers team, and it was the first. I think it was the first team that properly destroyed Stackington, despite being in a strong position. So, yeah, a lot of love for this side.
Yeah, interesting. No DM, but it's worked. It's the Wanderers of Wolverhampton, hasn't it? It's worked for in the 1st division.
Yeah, because now they've gone with a DM. They're not as strong.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see. But I suppose Dalgety at home or away?
Yeah, they're at home. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, understandable. No DM, but yeah, I like the look outside. Nicky Franco does what he does, and I mean Elber and Van Nistelrooy on the game, fantastic players, and up front together, there's goals there. In my opinion,
one goal this season.
Elber not scored so far.
Well, to be honest, they both missed the last 2 games for Robin and Brocek up front. So a bit of a change. They've gone for the actual strikers this time round to try and guarantee goals. Really, I mean, where they were playing those.
There are goals there, aren't there? But I think maybe that's just just trying to ensure that they get the results.
I haven't asked you for a prediction on any of the games today. So what are you going to go for this one?
I think just looking at the 2 sides, I mean, the OT's pretty maverick, and it will click one day, but I'm not sure that's going to be today. So I'm going to plump for the Rangers on this occasion. I think the OTs will score, but I'm going to put my neck on the line and say 4-1 for the Jers.
Well, you heard it here first. 4-1. We skipped to the end of the game immediately, and it was 4. No, hang on, let's play. The concede first shot arena. He's not a concede first goal, but there we are. Walter Samuel,
another centre half there.
Immediately get in the goal. Well, yeah, it's been a day for defenders. Whether they're
It
scoring
has
half
indeed.
volleys or headers or whatever it is, they're going for it, and it is all
It's
Rangers.
all Blues so far. Michael Jackson. The puns are endless. He's in the middle.
A bad performance there, yes.
It is, yeah. Maybe, yeah. You'd be praying he's not alone and someone's there with him, but they're not, are they?
I could just sit here thinking of them for the rest of the game. I think we've got a football match going on,
but just
which is
looking at
still
De Gea's,
1-0.
sevens. Emerson's dropped to a 6, but that's a good performance all around from that team so far.
And a chance for Dangley's, for Otis to come back into it. Just thinking of teams that are down there in the table. A 50-minute first half. Yep, Jackson. He's just not quite been at it this game, as he's been a bit of a stranger in Glasgow. But
yeah. Right, let's stop this.
Or is it a stranger in Stockholm? No, a stranger in Göteborg. Yeah, of course. We've got but 8 for Samuel and Kivu. Emerson on the 6. Let's check the stats out. 11 shots to the 1.
Yeah, I think the only thing really to note is that De Gea's could have scored more. Really, maybe a bit profligate in front of goal. Only 6 of the 11 on target, but I think there's more to come in the second half. I don't see the tide really particularly turning. Ball's not been in play for very much in this half, actually, to be fair.
No, 30 minutes is not great. I mean, I think we had one game where the ball was on the pitch for under 50 minutes in the match, but most of them are kind of about 65 by the end. It does need to pick itself up a bit. The goal, a lovely ball in there from Riquelme, and Jackson. He just couldn't get on the end of that one, as Samuel.
Yeah, he was bad. He wasn't a PYT. Insert as appropriate. But looking at the stats, I mean, for De Gea's, it's pretty healthy reading, really, isn't it? A lot of passes, a lot of successes. Walter Samuel, man of the match material so far, I think. Won all his tackles, won all his headers, scored the goal. Can't argue with that.
I don't think you can. He's put in the performance. We've got Riquelme in midfield with the assist, is obviously providing himself something. And then for Jeff Whitley, Jeff Whitley standing out. I don't think he's had the best season so far. He's pretty hoping for himself to keep that performance.
I suppose at this point, in a team that is leaking a few, you want to be over 6.5, don't you, in that kind of side? But a good performance today. Michael Jackson we've discussed, but other than that, there are shoots there, and only 1-0. It's one of those ones where anything can happen. Daniel Bent's had a shot. He's had the only shot, hasn't he, for the OTs? Maybe looking to him to get some more, and Marchant. Well, maybe it's time for that run. Who knows? Because he's not done an awful lot else, has he?
Yeah, Bent's looking a bit injured, but the only instruction really is on the goalkeeper. Otherwise, I think at this point, if you could do whatever you want, you'd be telling Michael Jackson to beat it. So we kick the second half off, and Nikiforenko immediately scores. So it's 2-0. It's early goals in both halves, and Van Nistelrooy getting a third. Now. But we have lost Daniel Bent, and San Nazario has to come on. I think he has scored this season. Yeah, he will come on.
Indeed, it's a natural replacement, I think.
Yeah, it's easy as 1, 2, 3 to bring him on. Into the next part of this match. Many apologies, fans of this league. I think you might have turned off by now. Let's have a look at the changes that Dalgety Rangers are looking at. It's anyone 6 or below at this point to be coming off, and there are nobody.
They've really picked it up this half, haven't they? Fitness-wise, I'll be looking in Emerson's direction.
Yeah, it's manager's choice, and there's no substitutes for injuries there. It's just 5 or below at half time and 6 or below afterwards. So
they might struggle through. The lead's grown, hasn't it? So they might be okay.
They have got about 2.5 weeks off before the next game, so there's always that as well. And for the OTs, it was just if Phillips was on a 6, bring Monahan on. So nothing going there.
He's been one of the bright sparks, especially in the first half, that he repelled everything that was coming his way. It's just you can't keep them all out.
No, not at all. Let's push to the last half hour and see if they can hold on. There's Riquelme going off. I mean, for me, I'd be bringing on Agahawa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we
Yeah,
discussed in the
Liverani.
game previous, wasn't it, that Agahawa was in for Riquelme, so I'd agree with that.
Yeah, let's just do the old Urracas substitute there, really, for the Jers, and it doesn't weaken it. You know, if it's very, very slightly, if anything. But
Yeah,
Agahawa is a very
it's slightly
competent
weaker,
player.
but it's a reasonably safe game at this point.
Yeah, and we still need to get Michael Jackson to shake his body, don't we, for the last bit? It's just not working out for him. And 25 minutes to go. Can they make it 4? We need 2 goals in this game for you. We need 1 for each side.
Yeah, we do. I'd forgotten about my prediction.
Oh, San Nazario
a bit
hitting
of
it.
play there for the OTs.
Crossbar. You know, Michael Jackson, will you be there to get the last goal in the game? But no, Marchant has hit the post as well. Oh, chances. And Nicky Franco.
Plenty of chances. And
Nicky
that's the fourth
Franco.
with the Jazz. Nicky Franco.
4-0. And unless I am mistaken, it's just a Murray Walker reference there. We have got 4-0 to the Jazz. 15
there we are,
shots,
absolutely.
9 on target.
Yeah, I think that's a good all-round performance, really, from Dalgetti. They can't complain about that at all. And Nicky Franco, 2 goals, plenty going on. I think they'll be happy with that.
Can't be. Yeah, they've got to be impressed with their own team performance there. It's Nicky Franco, 5 out of 6 shots on target. I mean, that's not bad at all, is it? And everything else.
A bit of defensive work there, winning some headers, plenty of pass completion, 1 key. Yeah, I mean that's just man of the match all over. But I think all across, lowest performer, a couple of 7s. That's what you want, really, isn't it?
Yeah, they are a contender for this. The promotion certainly, title maybe. You know, there's plenty of good teams in this division.
No, absolutely, and yeah, I mean the table won't take shape until we've all played each other once, but they'll certainly be in the mix.
Ooh. Yeah, Michael
doesn't
Jackson.
read well, does it?
With his 5 there, you know, he's get on the floor. Could be a reference there. We could blame it on anything really, but you know, we could
back to basics, learn his ABC.
Yeah, I think if we're going to blame the performance on anything, let's blame it on the boogie.
Yeah, it didn't quite hit us with a thriller.
Yeah, I mean that's
we
the
need to
thing.
plow on now, don't we?
The manager will be starting to scream about that, and he'll.
Brian Sparks, Jeff Whitley with an 8.
Yeah. I mean, he'd be hoping for the rest of his team to follow it through. He'd be wanting them to feel it for the rest of the season.
Marchant, without his run, actually staying up front, so 2 shots, 1 on targets. That's something to work for as well. And 24, 33 passes. So I think there's a few good performances in there despite the scoreline, but very much a strong side against a side in development.
Yes, yeah. This team will do it this season. They will get points. Graham Marchant for me is a player that is due more goals than he's getting, and San Nazario's come on and done a good job as well. So yeah, I mean, it was probably an expected result, almost exactly what you said it was going to be. Oh, we do have one more game. We do. It's the top of the table clash. How could we forget?
How could we forget? Sorry, folks.
The game we wanted. And here it is. Trumpton Vice Squad 1-0 defeat to Really last time, which has prompted.
Surprise defeat last time out, but Really are a really good side. But obviously Trumpton were in form before that, so I'm assuming they're looking to get back onto winning ways today.
Well, yes, but then you've seen this formation has been picked.
Oh. Right. Player wise, personnel wise, it's a fantastic team. I mean, we start with the three at the back. I mean, that's a 3 at the back up there with anybody really in the world. And Duffer at wing back and Dye there in the middle ish.
I don't think I've ever seen this formation before.
I just wonder what the hell Robin's going to be up to.
Yeah, he's quite isolated.
You might want Robin a bit closer to goal, but
For me,
I'm willing to be surprised. This looks like a formation that's just trying to actually adhere to the rules because you've got to have two wide players, right?
that's exactly right. If there's a left back here, he just needs to play it over the top, and they've got a lot of space.
Yeah, but Robin's MO is to start from that right and work his way in, so he's on the wrong side, really.
Yeah, he's cutting the wrong way. Let's see how that works for them. If this works, it's an absolute masterstroke. And if it doesn't work, Barney McGrew's gotta think about it. But the season, you can't really have any complaints about how they've done this season. One goal
up
defeat.
until the last game, then they've played fantastically. All tight games, but they've got the results.
Will they get the result today against Dublin Blues, who top of the league, 6 wins out of 6, missing Patrick Vieira today, so Ibrahim Said keeps on in defensive mid. Little changes to the team. It's strong. The 2 wide players have both swapped actually. Robin and Agahawa out, and Zeriberto and Zambrotta in.
Yeah, but I think the same really as Trumpton. It's a back 3 that is absolutely fantastic, proven in this game. Ibrahim Said as a DM is rock solid. Our good friend Mark Van Bommel makes another appearance, and then the front line as well speaks for itself. So I think these two teams really that deserve their place at the top of the table, and it looks like there should be goals. So we're going to probably be 0-0, aren't we?
Yeah, we do often predict goal fest and get nothing, but I think with the Trumpton formation, we're going to get goals either way. And I mean, I'm predicting a Blues win, but if that Trumpton formation works, we're up for a proper game, aren't we? Here we go. Right. Final match. Kenneth Peterson refereeing. And straight away, Trumpton come on the attack.
Away side on the attack.
Yeah, they take it to the opponents, but
I imagine Blues are just confused at the moment before they get their heads around what's going on.
Van Nistelrooy one disallowed early on, and I think they're going to get a lot of chances.
It's been quite end to end.
It has. Van Nistelrooy is getting most of these chances at the moment, but Trumpton always look like they're starting every attack, and Collins has just put one off target, and again on target this time.
Yeah, and plenty of chances his first quarter of the game.
Van Nistelrooy again with another chance, and Henry again. I think the forwards of both teams have been a little bit wasteful. Veron with a chance, and Veron again. It's 1-0 to Trumpton, and is this the masterstroke they needed? Zambrotta with a chance, of Van Bommel
they're still
away.
Going.
I'm surprised it's not half time yet.
Yeah, we're still going.
Chances. And it's certainly an enjoyable little match, and giving us a little breather, is it?
Catch up breath.
No, still going.
Still going.
Half time. Zambrotta's not been quite at it, but
no, that was an entertaining half of football. Plenty of 15 shots.
No wonder it seemed to go on forever.
Well, I think the tale there is just the lack of shots on target, really, and just obviously a lot of screen, but Trumpton getting the one of the 3 on and in the net
and winning the headers.
Headers again, yeah. Pretty even. A bit more possession for the Blues. You'd expect that as the home side, but I don't think either side can complain about how they've played. I think Trumpton have just edged it, really.
Yeah, I mean, will we be seeing copycat formations going on at some point? I don't know. We've still got another half of the match to go, of course. But Njai has played in Veron, who's unmarked, and a simple little finish for them. So it's worked particularly well. Zeriberto, I mean, I think 8 is kind of absolutely standard for him these days.
Yeah, and Ibrahim Said there as well, playing fantastically.
Yeah, without the run to striker, he's still doing a good job.
Yeah, worry about Zambrotta. What he's had 3 shots all off target, so I don't know whether he's copping some flack for that, being a bit wasteful.
I do wonder. Blues go for the tactic of bad or tired at 60. So I think all of these are 60-minute subs going on with any team at the moment. Or 45 for Trumpton. It's potential injuries at halftime, and it looks like Henry's got one of those. So he will come off.
Yeah.
But let's have a look at their. Then we'll do the Henry substitute first of all. who'll come off for Sigalko is the obvious change that's going to go on. And then take a look at them. Veron, plenty of passes.
Veron's been standout, two on two on target, which is nice. Collins a bit wasteful, which I guess is giving him his 6, but at least he's having the chances.
Yeah, we noticed the Collins chances, didn't we, early on?
Other than that, there's not. Well, Rio Ferdinand again has been quite imperious. So 4 of 6, 1, 3 key. So I think he's been the one keeping the Blues out. To be fair.
Mike Duff, 2 key passes as well. It's they're sort of sharing it out between themselves for a good performance, and absolute credits to them at half time for what's going on.
Yeah, and that was an entertaining half. So hopefully we'll have more of the same.
Can we get another 15 chances? The hope is we'll get 1 or 2. Zeriberto has had chance playing. Van Nistelrooy's had a shot already, and more chances going forward. It seems like the ball's kind of on the edge of the box quite a bit at the moment.
It's a bit like 5-a-side, isn't it? Yeah, it seems really like end to end.
We've reached subs at 63 minutes, and for Blues, bad or tired at 60. Well, bad. I don't think there's no 5s, but Lucio.
Well, Zambrotta's rescued his 5 into a 6, so he's improved.
Yeah. 83 for Totti. He's not injured.
No, just a bit tired. Zeriberto.
The word tired is coming to it there. Zeriberto, I think. No, he's just.
Yeah. Taribo West, I think you looked at there, had a potential.
Yeah, and he's got a 6. I think that would class as bad and injured at the same time for Hoffland.
Looking at Hoffland, yeah, absolutely.
And then would you do one of the 83 percenters like Totti for an Agahauer or Robin or a Collins? There's 3 choices there.
Oh, well, so we've already got a Robin on the pitch. We've already got a Collins on the pitch. So should we go for an Agahauer?
Agahauer has performed. Let's have a look at how they're doing this season. Got 3 assists there, 775. We've got Robin on 675 and Collins on 720. I think Agahauer has been the better player.
Agahauer, just on form. Yeah, good shout.
And preserving the 3rd sub. I mean, Zeriberto's on an 8. He is at 83%, same as Totti, but he's performing better, and you want to keep that 3rd sub where possible, don't you?
Yes, odds law if you make the 3rd one.
Yes, it has happened before. We've seen it with the Danglies, I think, this season. David Collins. There's a problem there with David Collins, isn't there?
Yeah, he's run himself into the ground, hasn't he?
Oh, it looks like it's Agahauer coming on.
Oh, dear.
That's an interesting set of subs. Yeah, so looking at the
other list, he's the only suitable substitution, isn't he?
Anyone under 83% is another one? Nope. And
everyone else is fine.
Anyone on 6s? Nope. Of those players coming on there, so that's fine. If losing at 60, nope. So that will just be as it is. It will be the subs. So Agahauer comes on for both teams as we head into the last 27 minutes plus injury time. And the chance for this, Nicky Franco's disallowed. He had the equaliser there for seconds before the referee ruled that one out. Van Nistelrooy with more chances. And he's still
hanging on at the moment.
It really does feel like they're hanging on. Another chance, I think that was Agahauer this time. And Trumpton, they're certainly not coming forward anywhere near as much as Agahauer's put one wide for them. Roberto Said with a chance so late on. And with 3 minutes to go, it's still hanging on. It's 2-0.
On the break
there. Was that Robin?
And you know where it is, and you know where he's playing. Arjun Robin in his weird position.
He's done it.
He's done it.
Do you know, I genuinely couldn't remember who scored the opening goal for that game. So I was wondering, was it Robin? But yeah, absolutely right. The 90th minute, Iron Robin with a confirming game.
What an absorbing game. But I think Blues with their no goals, I think pretty profligate, unfortunately.
Oh, that's an interesting way for a 6-game winning run to come to an end, isn't it? But I mean, that Trumpton formation, I don't know. I probably was a little bit disrespectful to it in.
Yeah, I was more confused, and I'm still confused. But they've just won 2-0.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone else. I mean, there's got to be one person who thinks this is worth a try. we're looking through this game, so many chances, and right at the end,
Oh, Robin's
Agahawa
had
plays
gone
it
on a
in.
run.
I bet Agahawa doesn't get credit with that assist if the goalkeeper didn't in the other game. I can't remember if it was Grobbelaar or whoever it was with the
Robin's
assist
gone
earlier on.
past three people.
He's just destroyed the side on his own for his first goal for the team as well. Looking into Blues, I mean, they weren't bad. They weren't bad. They were just beaten by a team that were on fire.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. There were no bad performances. There's obviously there were 4 6s over the 13 players, but there were no poor performances. Yeah, I think they've just been beaten on the day by a team that's played better.
Yeah, I don't think Mr. Dunning's got anything to complain about for his side there. I mean, you've got a couple of 8s in there. Van Nistelrooy looks like he was really up for it this game, and yeah, Said, you do get performance out of him most of the time. Zeriberto dropping to a 7. I think there's nothing wrong with his performance, but then you
surprised to see Van Bommel just on the back screen. Van Bommel 5 shots, 3 on target. I know I've been laying into him in this fixture list, but he's done all right there. Sorry, so
no, fine, absolutely.
Costanzo with a 9.
He was tested enough times. Yeah, he had 5 shots against him. Just clicking on all sorts of random screens there. Yeah, it just seemed like a game that Trumpton. It wasn't any sort of smash and grab by any means, was it? It seemed like a controlled performance. Rio Ferdinand doing a great job at the back, as we've seen many times today. Kivu winning key tackles.
If you just go via the eye test of the ratings, it's just they've played better on the day.
Yeah, let's look at it that way. Both teams doing a reasonable job, but you just see that 9 creeping in to the other side, and Veron's 8 better than Costanzo's 9 for man of the match.
Yeah, well, I mean, goals win prizes, don't they?
And pets do, according to that old Dale Winton TV program that we used to watch.
Indeed.
Into the results, and obviously from the results there, you'd have expected wins for the home teams, but we did get 2 away games, 2 away results there. Trumpton winning the battle at the top of the table, and neither team has come out on top now. Stackington getting the away win, but Atletico Newmilns for Big Noopy taking the lead in the league table. Let's get straight to that and have a look there. 19 points from 7 games, just ahead of the Blues, Trumpton, and then a pack there of 3 of Roundhay, Dodgers, and really all on 16 points.
The table's really coming together now, isn't it? I think from 6th to 2nd, it's very tight. Those that have had a defeat. Obviously, Atleti have played fantastic, top scorers in the league, fully deserve being top of the table. But from 2nd down to 6th, it's all to play for really in the chasing pack.
It's an immense. Just what's going on there is crazy, isn't it? I mean, Radaby seriously out of position there in 9th.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
We've just lost you for a second.
Even your Stackington, Grove. No, apologies. I say Radaby, but even your Stackington and Grove, there's potential there to climb the table. But as long as that gap to 8th place doesn't get any bigger, really.
Yeah, it was, I suppose the result there for Stackington just stopping it. I mean, if it didn't happen there, it could have been a 10-point cushion. So Stackington just saved it from expanding quite so much with a sort of an unexpected victory there. OTs and Danglies, I mean, they've now got 5 goals between them this season.
Yeah, Danglies will be happy with their goal. Though.
It's a good job this is not relegation. You don't want to see any of these teams being lost, of course, really. But it is. I do feel like this is a bottom 4 playing for themselves.
Of course, but I think the thing to note as well is I don't think any of the bottom 3 have they played each other yet. So of course something has to give when it comes to that.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, they can't have played each other yet because there's only been one positive result of any kind.
Yeah, so. I mean, that's basic mathematics, isn't it? Yes, of course.
I mean, we'll look at the fixtures very shortly, but let's go into the old player stats. Van Nistelrooy from Newmilns, they're top of the list with Veron following. Another Van Nistelrooy in the top 5 of yours there, Jim, and two Vieiras. Well, 3 Vieiras in the top 6.
Yeah, I think in terms of players, there are some usual suspects there appearing, but then Michael Hughes as well.
Yeah, he's a usual suspect, surely. He's a quality
Then
player.
if you're usually there, which he is, then he,
There
of
he,
course.
there he is again, second in the goal scorers chart with
I mean,
Van Nistelrooy.
do you oversee a player of the season when it comes down to it?
If we don't, I think we should. Whatever happens, I think we should put it down to a vote. I think we should
Well,
be putting.
or Mr. Symington, surely.
Oh, Graham Simonton might well join us for to announce the fixtures for this next round, maybe. Of course, then we've got the cup final in midweek, of course. Yeah. So we've got here down to goals conceded. We checked that last night in Division 1. David James at 23 goals conceded. I mean, Tony Warner on 20, but he's missed the last few games. Down into penalties, Saeed with 2, Riquelme with 2, but 1 for 2 different clubs. Saeed with a 3rd penalty there for Stackington this season.
All converted.
Of course, that's just how he does it. 6 assists for the round here, Riquelme.
Yeah, he's playing well, Riquelme. I like use because I like to use him in the middle of the 3-on rushes. So yeah, he's serving us quite well there.
And there's the wonderful Michael Hughes there again, performing
superstar
nobly. Yellow cards, Vieira on 5 with Cannavaro and West behind. Paul Williams.
The top 3 there, you could almost have predicted. I'm surprised. I mean, there's surprised there's not a Roy Keane there somewhere.
I just think there's only one Roy Keane in the division, I think.
And that's mine, I think. And I think Patrick Vieira's keeping him out.
So yeah, he's not even getting the games.
They're topping up, aren't they? The red cards.
13 red cards, and Taribo West has 2 of them. There on just the one. Van Nistelrooy, man of the matches. We got a crowd of Verons. Steve Phillips on 2. And then Michael Hughes in the top 10 yet again, but only 1 this time. Just quick check of these ones. Rio Ferdinand, Stam, Ferdinand again. You know, it's defenders dominating that list.
Yeah,
Tackles,
absolutely.
Neil Aspin, 6.7. So, you know, what Larry Pack season, it was great.
High numbers, aren't they?
I mean, not as high as Division 1, but higher than the average game that you might look at.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder because I think we've all got attacking sides, haven't we? So it makes sense that tackles are made.
Jimmy Traore up there on 5 tackles a game.
There we are. Get in, Jimmy.
Dribbles of Berkovic. You know, I do see Berkovic doing quite a lot at the moment in his games. He is carrying growth to things.
I mean, surely Riquelme's dribble from earlier on was worth about 10.
yeah, the 5-minute dribble. Well, it was just a 1-minute dribble, wasn't it? But he just kept going and turning. And that's it for those ones. So we're looking to the fixtures for next game with Graham Symington.
Good evening. It's Gondor versus FC Dangley's. Grove versus Los Urracas. Otis, my favourite breakfast cereal, versus the 76ers. Rotherby FC versus Roundhay. I believe that's a Bradford versus Leeds battle. Real E versus the Jers. Stackington Colliery versus the Dublin Blues. And Trumpton, my favourite TV programme, will play Athletico Newmills. That concludes the league fixtures for Tuesday, the 4th of June. Thank you very much, Graham. Yeah, wonderful. Thanks for seeing that. You're absolutely right that game there is a West Yorkshire battle. Are you looking forward to that one, Jim?
Yeah, I am indeed. Yeah, it's nice to sort of lock horns with some of the locals. The Rugby, as we said, are due an upturn of performance. Performance has been good, but an upturn of results. So it's certainly one to watch. But the one I'm really looking forward to is your bottom fixture, Trumpton versus Atleti, another top of the table clash.
It's yet again Trumpton taking on the league leaders for the second time in a row. But you've got what you wanted there. Gondor versus Dangley's. That someone is going to hit 2 points at least for the season.
That's where the fun starts, and the goals will be flying in, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be a game that's well worth watching. I do hope that's the game that we all tune into next week. Team of the week, has it been announced? It has indeed, and it's got 2 Nicky Franco. It's very rare to see 2 players of the same name in the starting lineup for a team of the week, but we do have 2 Nicky Francos, and a team there with Costanzo from Trumpton, as we expected. Michael Hughes, not a surprise, he's been mentioned a million times today on
Yeah,
every single stats
absolutely.
page. And Ryan Giggs on the side there. It's you wouldn't mind having a team like that, would you?
Oh no, exactly. And yeah, every name on there is, as we know, a superstar, and it's good to see Mike Duff. But I think for all the teams he's played for today, I think he's been a 7 or an 8 at least, hasn't he?
Yeah. Quiet, but understatedly brilliant. Best way to
The
describe
Cheltenham
it.
Gary Neville.
The Cheltenham Gary Neville, but he's a better manager, I believe.
Well, he couldn't have been any worse.
So, thank you very much, Jim. Fantastic to have you in, and you've provided us with endless entertainment tonight. So,
No,
it'd be
it's a
good to have you
pleasure.
back on.
Thank you very much for having me.
Not a problem. And we'll remember going into the next round of games will be the Swedish Cup final, which takes place between the 76ers and Los Urracas, which will be 2 consecutive matches. So they will be putting on one show in midweek, just those 2 games this week. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.